Hello to all. Welcome to my new video. Today we are going to learn Unit 1 1.6 The Alchemy of Nature. Let us begin with warming up. The first question is rearrange the good qualities in each set so that the first letter of each of the words should make a meaningful word. Join the sets and get a message. Set 1 understanding, adaptable, tolerant, neat, encouraging, and resourceful. So the word is, if you take the first alphabet of each word, the word formed is nature. Set 2, selfless, inspiring. So the word formed is. Set 3, youthful, modest. The word formed is my. Set 4, affectionate, compassionate, empathetic, honest, reliable, trustworthy. So if you take the first alphabet of each word, the new word formed is teacher. So the message is nature is my teacher. Let us move on to the second activity. The second activity is a student's activity, quite easy one. I will read out, I will make it understand. Try to solve it on your own. Various aspects of nature have special features that make them differ from one another. So here they have given example of birds. So when you have the picture of bird in your mind or when you think about a bird, what all things that come to your mind? Their appearance, their shapes, their colors, their sizes, their food habits, their habitats, the sound made by them. So every bird has a different sound. Every birds live in different habitats. So many other things are there. So write such special features of each of the following. When you say land, you can just imagine a plain, a plateau, then the color of the mud is also different, the color of the earth is also different. So when you say water, the sea water is different, the water from the river is different, the water from the well is different, the water from the underground is different. So when you say water, what all things come to your mind? So when you say trees, animals, insects, so write down their features and bring out their difference. So the third activity is a fun activity, children. Try to solve it on your own. Quite easy one. Make a list of living creatures in the alphabetical order. You can write more than one beginning with the same letter. So if you take A, from A which animal comes to your mind? Write the name of it. If you say M, M comes monkey. O comes owl. P comes parrot, in that way. Let us begin with the lesson, Unit 1, 1.6, The Alchemy of Nature, Part 1. So, in this particular video, I am going to share the explanation to warming up and the explanation of the lesson. Let us begin. Now, this particular lesson begins with the 4 lines taken from William Blake's poem. So, as I told you all, I have many times told students that poetries are such that you read every time you gain some other meaning. So it has a great depth in their meaning. To see a world in a grain of a sand. Now a small grain of sand, that too is an element of nature, a part of nature. So you can see the whole world in that small grain of sand. And a heaven in a wild flower. Who has seen heaven? Neither I have seen nor anyone has seen. Is there anyone in this world who can say that heaven is like that? But we can create heaven on this earth. So when you see a wildflower, a beautiful flower, you can see heaven into it. Hold infinity in the palm of your hand. And this all can be held in your hand. It can be held in your hand. How? You can keep the wildflower in your hand. So everything depends upon your perspective, how you look at things. And so this endlessness can be held in your palm of hand and eternity in an hour. And how is this? This is all that is endless. So if you feel like, you can see the world in a small grain of sand. If you feel like, you can see heaven in a wildflower too. Here they have given below the meaning of the 4 lines too. So what I told you all was my perspective, how I look at these particular lines. Something as tiny as a grain of sand can spark off an idea or imagination of a huge significance to the world. So what is important to this world? A small idea also can create miracles, we can say. One can witness and experience the beauty of heaven in something as small as a wildflower and derive joy forever. So I think so. Even I have explained it in the same way. Only one should have the eyes and time to see it. I told you, Allah, it depends upon your perspective, how you look at things. Infinity is endless space, but your small palm can hold the destiny of the earth through your efforts. So we say na everything is possible. Sometimes we say nothing is possible to me. So instead of saying nothing is possible to me, why not say everything is possible to me? So everything can be gained, everything can be earned. But how? It depends upon your perspective again. Eternity is endless time, but just an hour in your life can make a difference to the world forever. So great deed can surpass the limits of time and space. They never die. We instinctively turn to outdoor activities and nature as a way of relaxing and enhancing our well-being. Nowadays, children, we see about the mall culture. But this mall culture is quite recent. But whenever you feel like going somewhere out, once you go to a mall, twice you go to a mall, the newness is over immediately. But whenever you feel like relaxing and whenever you are with the nature, you always feel so relaxed, so refreshing, and so energetic. So, whenever we feel like we are tired, we are bored with our work, what we do is we immediately go outdoors and we try to be with the nature. Nature soothes and nurtures. Nature fulfills and motivates. Nature whispers and commands. So, whatever are the things that we are doing right now, that is all that comes from the nature. We say that it is quite natural. Are you listening? So, nature speaks to us in many ways, and we should have those ears to listen to it. When I do, it leaves me in complete awe. It is so awesome when I'm with the nature. This is what I feel. And when I listen to the nature, when I understand what it tells me, then it leaves me in complete awe. Here they have given a beautiful example of a hibiscus plant, a small red color flower we all know, very commonly seen in every Indian homes, in every gardens. What does it teach us? We have a hibiscus plant in our garden. Every fortnight, a flower blooms on it, big, bright, and tender. Through the day, it smiles with the sun and dances with the wind, but as the evening approaches, it starts wilting. What is wilting? Lack of water, lack of energy, and you start dropping down. So that is wilting here. So what happens with this hibiscus plant? So on this hibiscus plant, you can see bright, tender, red color flower blooming every fortnight. So what does it do throughout the day? It smiles with the sun and dances with the winds. Means what? It lives only for a day, but it has no complaints at all. And as the evening comes, it wilts too. The morning after, it withers completely, and by the evening, it falls and becomes one with the earth again. So how much is the life of this particular flower? Only one day. The flower comes to life only for a day, yet it does so in full splendor. But what kind of a life it lives? We always say na, that we live in deeds and not in years. So your life may be small, your life may be big. How many years you live, nobody knows. But whatever lifespan you live for, you should live with full splendor, with happiness, and you should enjoy that particular period of life. What if we too lived our life, however short, to its fullest? So here in the beginning part of the text, we can see that the writer, she has used a few questions. So now what are these questions for? These questions are called as rhetoric questions. So they are not asked for answers, but they are asked so that we have that thinking process in our mind. Let us continue. When we went to a rocky beach and saw the spread of majestic ocean and rocks alongside, carved, sculpted, and shaped by the water. I think so. Most of us might have gone to some beach. You all must have seen the rocks there. how the salty water has given a shape to the rocks. The water is so gentle and rock is so hard. Yet as the water flows over it every day for years, the rock gives in. You all must have seen the sand, how it is, every grain is round and smooth. You must have seen the small stones that are present in the river. How are they? They are also round in shape and they are smooth. So who gives them the shape? The water gives them the shape. It takes the shape that the water commands. So water decides what kind of a shape I am going to give to it. So even the same thing is with our problems. Our problems are so colossal. Everyone feels that my problem is huge, my problem is large. No one has faced difficulties as I have faced in my life. And we are so small, yet if we persist. So everyone has to face a problem. Everyone has to face a difficulty. For some, the problem may be solved in a very easier way. For some, the problem may be very difficult to solve. But yet what we have to do is we have to persist. We have to stay there. We have to have the positive attitude in us, and then we can overcome each and every problem. We saw small bits of grass peeping through the small cracks in a concrete pavement. It left us thinking, however impossible the things may look, there is always an opening. We say now when all the doors are closed, one door is opened. So it is in the same way. We saw a tree bare of all leaves in the cold winter months. We thought its chapter was over. We know when the season changes, when the spring comes, when the spring sets in, you can see the tree is full of greenery. But 3 months passed, spring set in, and the tree was back to its green majesty once again, full of leaves, flowers, bird, and life. What if we too had the conviction that, however difficult things are right now, it will not remain the same forever? Remember, this too shall pass. So if you see this particular text, children, so whenever you feel depressed, whenever you feel that everything is going wrong, just remember this text and always say to yourself, this too shall pass. So in this particular paragraph, the writer has given wonderful examples of what we can learn from nature and how nature teaches us. Everything is not written down, children. So there are so many other things that you can learn through observation. Now see the observation of the writer and what we can learn from it. We saw an army of ants lugging a fly which was at least 10 times the ant's size. You have seen an ant, everyone might have seen. So tiny, but have you seen it carrying a grain of sugar, a small grain of sugar, catching it in its feelers and then lifting it and carrying it to its destination? So here you can see that there are so many ants that have gathered together and they are carrying that fly. And the size of the fly is 10 times much huger than the size of the ant. The ants, what did they do then? The ants organized themselves around the fly. So they did not keep on fighting there. That you go and stand there, I will go and stand there. Why are you standing here? This is so common with us human beings, isn't it? So you can see this is what you can learn from the ant. They organized themselves around the fly, lifted it on frail feelers and carried it to quite a distance. Their teamwork and perseverance were impressive. Now what is another thing that you can learn from the ant? It is futuristic. It knows that after a few months it is going to be a rainy season and we can't move out of the place. So what it does, it carries whatever it finds, whatever eatables it finds, it carries to its home and keeps it safe there so that it can preserve it for the next 4 months and feed itself and its family. So even we can be futuristic in the same way. What if we too are consistent, organized, focused? Next is the example of a spider. The spider webs are delicate yet very strong. So if you see a spider web somewhere, just go and observe it and then you will understand the exact meaning of this particular line. A rainbow colors the entire sky. So nowadays at least clicking a photo has become a fashion. So you might have seen whenever you see a rainbow, everyone clicks a photo and shares it on a social media. So why do we click the photo of a rainbow? Because it is unusual. You don't see it every time. But whenever you see it, you can see the different colors, how majestic it is. The next example is of oyster that she has mentioned. Oysters take in a grain of sand and they open up with a pearl. So whatever you take in, what you give out is so important. So what does the oyster take in? A grain of sand. But when it opens, it has turned into a pearl. And that particular pearl is so very costly if you go and purchase it. Innumerable stars shine across the infinite sky. So have you all seen a starry night? How wonderful it looks, isn't it? Clouds take new shape with every passing moment. Have you seen a particular cloud in the same shape? No, it keeps on changing. So we can say that change is the only constant. The wind makes the trees dance with unhindered passion. So the tree doesn't say, "Arey, if I will dance in such a way, how will I look?" No, it just enjoys. Water, without hint of ego, changes its form according to the dictates of the sun and the wind. So we know water, whichever color you add to it, it changes to that color. In whichever shape of a container you place, it takes the shape of the container. So even we should be in the same way, egoless. We have lot of egos in our mind. So we should remove all those egos. This is what water teaches us. When we see a caterpillar turning into a butterfly, so how is caterpillar very ugly? How is a butterfly very beautiful? A flower turning into a fruit. So it is a flower at the beginning and then changes itself into a fruit. We experience the alchemy of nature. We touch it and we become gold ourselves. So if we understand it, we become gold. So this is what is nature all about. This is what nature teaches us. So many things we can learn from nature. Here they have given the meaning of alchemy. Alchemy is actually the chemistry. We say that this particular friend is very close to me. Why? Because she understands you better or he understands you better. So you have a wonderful chemistry between yourselves. So in the same way, an ancient forerunner of chemistry about attempts to convert base into metals into gold. Here it refers to the mysteries, the magical process of transforming things. So they have given the example of a flower turning into a fruit. So that is alchemy of nature. I hope you all have understood the text very well. This was the explanation of Unit 1, 1.6, The Alchemy of Nature Part 1. It has the explanation of warming up and the text. See you soon in my next video where I will be explaining The Alchemy of Nature Part 2, Questions and Answers and English Workshop. If you like the video, please press the like button. Don't forget to share and subscribe my channel, and for the further notification, please press the bell icon. Thank you very much. See you soon. Bye bye.